So yeah, what I want to talk about right now is the fundamental shapes in general. Um, the importance of shapes when it comes to drawing. Now there are five shapes that they claim that you can learn how to draw literally anything with. Now, when you for these five shapes, um, and I think the five shapes, five fundamental shapes, you know, are hold on a second. Okay, so yeah, for me to continue on with my conversation right now, yeah, I had to move. It was getting too much where I was. If I didn't say it, I'll repeat it. There are about five fundamental shapes used in art. You know, I won't go into too much detail about it, but that's pretty much how art works. There's five fundamental shapes that they claim you can use to draw literally anything, to be honest with you. Now, for these shapes, the importance of these shapes in general is I think the importance of them is the curvature of it. Now, let's just give an example. If you were to draw a square, for example, um, draw a square, for example, if you were to start your drawing, if you want your drawing to be a certain size all the time, it might make sense if each of the four lines that make up that square, four lines that make up that square, all of the four lines that make up that square in general were 10 centimeters, you might say if you're going to something, draw a certain something, you might want to start at a certain centimeter, maybe on the right side of the square, and then go up to a certain centimeter on the top of the square, you know, on the line. So it's just supposed to help you with the curvature of it. This is why I think this idea is actually to some degree actually plausible. Not to not to mention you can connect it with other lines and all that sort of stuff. So this is just something I just quickly wanted to explain about art in general. This is definitely not the most interesting of subjects out there when it comes to, hold up a second. This is definitely not the most interesting of subjects when it comes to art, but it's very, very, very important. Actually, I would say it's actually very interesting. I don't know what I was saying just now. It's actually very interesting. No BS. It's actually very interesting. It's because it's showing you the foundation of how to draw literally anything, and you have to strategize and try to figure out how you're going to draw different things. And once you see the image of it, such as for example a dinosaur, you would calculate if you wanted to draw. Maybe a better example would be if you were to draw a fighter jet or a space fighter jet, you see images of it and you'd calculate based on how it looks the the type of shapes you would use and how you would try to curve and move things around it. That's what I think pretty much understanding shapes is, to be honest with you. Understanding shapes in general, to be honest with you. So it's just supposed to help you with the curve of it. I'm sure there's many other, there's probably, I should have said instead, there's probably other importances of it. But just remember, the best point I can really give to understand shapes in general when it comes to art, I don't know if this is true or not, because I myself, I'm a starting artist. But I will say this. I would say you would say, or I would refer to this, to the five shapes when it comes to drawing, as the alphabet of drawing. And it's like the alphabet. There's only 24 combinations, but you can make. But as we all know, there's many, many, many different words out there. Tens of thousands of words to be blunt with you. So it's the same thing when it comes to, well, drawing, you know. This is what I refer to it as, and that's what I'm sticking with for now. And this is my video, and this is all I have to say. And I'll post a lot and post a lot more videos about art, and not only about understanding art, but understanding music as well. And that's all I have to say.